Yeah, me know, said the pain and the stress in your life make things feel hopeless. But just because you're not perfect, that no means that you're worthless. Hey, keep your eyes on the prize, everything at just time, just keep on working. Just because you're not perfect, that no means that you're worthless. Worthless, all you end up high. Never sacrifice yourself, you get ahead in life. Me know sometimes it gets so rough and you feel terrified. Just hold it out because it's better on the other side. Me know you're feeling down, me see a bag of pain in your eyes. As get a youth, we have to make it, there's no other choice. When I'm free, also life, it satisfy me appetite. Grabbing a barrel of the explanation of your life. Sometimes I feel free die just so me can go get fit off the price. The pain and the stress in your life make things feel hopeless. But just because you're not perfect, that no means that you're worthless. Hey, keep your eyes on the prize, everything at just time, just keep on working. Just because you're not perfect, that no means that you're worthless. Worthless. Work so hard for everything I want. Sometimes I sit in the dark just for reflect on my past. Might show your love, but me not trust no man. You know the amount of time when them done did me wrong. Me feel free die, but then me turn to God.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 25th day of March in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben has rejected concerns that the country may be slipping back into a time when execution-style killings occurred frequently. The gunning down of biker Ricardo Fagundes on Sunday night outside the Pam Court night spot ignited fears on social media as details of his murder became known. Speaking to members of the media today, the Home Affairs Minister said the police force is reviewing its procedures to have a better handle of gun crimes.
No, I want to assure the public that we are working hard to eradicate lawlessness and particularly gun crimes in Guyana and crimes of that sort. So we're working hard at it, we're reviewing the posture, the procedures, the reactions which should happen when there is such an event so that we mitigate, prevent, and to deal with those who would get involved in that type of activity.
There has been no arrest in the latest execution case, and investigators believe that the two gunmen who shot Fagundes to death were hired killers. Fagundes was a close associate of former drug convict Roger Connor. There has been speculation about what might have been the motive behind the murder. The Home Affairs Minister said a clear motive is still to be determined.
They seem to know better than I know. I don't know what drugs in itself have to do with human rights. I'm just talking about the killing also. Yes, I am saying I am not sure what's the connection between the two. There has been great criminal activity with loss of life. Any loss of life is regrettable, and we want to prevent that in any shape or form. And we are working hard to prevent these issues. We are working hard to deal with the issues, review the posture, review the procedures, up the training, the management, and the assets, both vehicular and manpower types, with the requisite equipment to deal with reoccurrences.
The Home Affairs Minister also said as soon as there is solid information about the execution, that information will be made known to the public. He said the investigations are ongoing.
No, well, I don't know. I don't want to speculate on the GRA and what it is saying. If the GRA has information, well, whoever they are, they can bring it to the attention of the police. But I can't deal with speculation. As soon as there's solid information based on facts, releases will be made to the public.
A post-mortem examination carried out on the body of Fagundes revealed that he was shot more than 12 times. A surveillance video recording of the incident revealed that the execution was carried out by two gunmen who attacked Fagundes as he crossed the road to a vehicle after stepping out of Palm Court. The two men made their getaway in a white wagon that was parked nearby. That same night, persons in the Suze-Lake-Linden Highway community of Swan found a white wagon abandoned and on fire. The discovery is also being probed. More news coming up in just a moment.
Guyana, we've been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
That gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
At Sosh Financial, we create strategies for strengthening business and personal finances while helping our clients to build sustainable wealth. Our financial and business consultancy services are uniquely tailored to ensure every client receives quality packages and optimal results. Our financial services include financial reporting and analysis, financial status assessment, internal audits, bookkeeping and records management, financial planning advice, tax returns. Our business advisory services are related to business plans, business startups, operational improvement, business management, document preparation, procedures development, efficient marketing. Call or WhatsApp us today for your free consultation on telephone number 592-665-6045. Sosh Financial, strengthening businesses, building wealth.
University students, do you know who is seeing what you share online? Prospective employers, recruiters, and graduate schools often screen potential candidates before hiring or approving applications. Sharing inappropriate images or posts and using obscene language online can cost you dearly. Avoid paying the price. 1. Set your account to private. 2. Think twice before you share a post. 3. Get permission before posting details about others. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
To all Guyana, everyone, one and all, use simple drug IDA, eliminating malaria, just take the pills, come on join into ranks we're done, eliminating malaria, just take the pills, come on join your malaria pills, use your triple drug IDA, let's all get rid of malaria.
Message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
Go spread the word in your area. We gonna end filaria.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana. So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, but in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out. TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. The coronavirus death toll in Guyana jumped to 225 today, with 4 deaths being recorded in the past 24 hours. 3 of the 4 persons who passed away lived in Region 4, which continues to see the highest rate of COVID-19 infections in the country. All 4 of the latest COVID-19 related deaths were patients in the ICU of the Infectious Diseases Hospital at Lilienthal. They were all over the age of 60. Since the start of this month, Guyana has recorded more than 1,200 new cases of coronavirus, and 28 deaths have been recorded in the past 24 days. The latest data from the Ministry of Health has revealed 78 new cases of the virus being recorded in the past 24 hours. More than 40 of those new cases are from Region 4. Some sad news to report now. Communications specialist and media worker Namila Henry passed away in the intensive care unit of the Infectious Diseases Hospital after losing her battle to coronavirus. Henry, who was admitted to the hospital just over 2 weeks ago after testing positive for the virus and suffering from symptoms, was active in the hospital until last Sunday, when she reportedly suffered a heart attack and slipped into a coma. She never regained consciousness, and her relatives were informed this afternoon that she had passed. The founder of the First Look Morning Show and First Look News on Channel 9 spent more than 15 years in the media. She also served as an editor at the Department of Public Information and the Guyana Chronicle. Nams, as she was affectionately called by close friends, was also involved in social work and spearheaded work with a number of human rights and social groups over the years. She was the founder of the Comforting Hearts group in Berbice, which supported persons affected by HIV, and she also served as a trustee of SASAD Guyana in its early years. The Guyana Press Association has extended its sympathy to her family and close friends. News Source joins in expressing sympathy to her family and friends also. Namila Baines Henry was 63 years old. Let's tell you now that persons who are infected with the coronavirus will not be given the COVID-19 vaccine until they have made a full recovery from the virus. That's according to the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony.
If they already have the infection, we'll wait until they recover and then give them the vaccine. The guidelines have been that if you're already infected, that because you're infected, your body would start reacting to produce antibodies. So at that point, there's no need for the vaccine.
Dr. Anthony also explained today that the purpose of the vaccine is to help persons from getting the severe form of the virus.
So you want to give people, healthy people, the vaccine so that their immune system develop antibodies. And then if you come in contact with somebody who has COVID, that you're able to fight the disease off, right? So you don't want to give a sick patient the vaccine after they recover. Then because when they recover, their body, they'll still have antibodies. So that would be protective to prevent them from getting a reinfection. And then maybe after a month or 2, you can then give them the vaccine.
The World Health Organization has also advised that persons should be given the vaccine after recovery and not while they are an active case. Meanwhile, the health minister pointed out today that persons who are in the COVID-19 intensive care unit continue to be monitored. He said while the majority of them have troubles breathing, others have underlying conditions. To assist the patients, the minister said the drug remdesivir has proven effective, and the government recently purchased a batch of the drug to assist the patients. Well, let's tell you now that the need for the structuring of various aspects and responsibilities of the Guyana Fire Service was highlighted today as senior officers of the Fire Service gathered for their annual conference. New Fire Chief Calamidine Edu told the other senior fire officers that they will all have to look at improving the fire service and its work. He said an agreement has already been reached in a number of areas that will see development.
We over the next 2 days to focus on our areas of challenges with a view to identify the gap, strengthening the weaknesses, so as to enhance the service we provide to the citizens of our country. I therefore will present the 10-point strategic plan that have been designed to overcome the challenges that beset the entity by performing the means by which the Guyana Fire Service can ensure the development needs of the country and its citizens.
The fire chief said the key areas to be addressed include the modernization of fire stations across the country, the introduction of fire safety building codes, and the establishment of a legal department in the fire service.
I have just outlined for you the areas that the Guyana Fire Service has earmarked for improvement, but this is no way exhaustive. We recognize that competence and enhanced performance can only be realized if supportive structural change are taking place. We haven't touched on hydrant, for example, but I'm sure we are all aware of their importance in our firefighting effort. To say that these are some of the challenges and the planned improvements for our human resource, infrastructure, and provision of services. During our deliberation, we will certainly fine-tune, considering in greater detail the implementation of our 10-point plan.
While noting that changes are important since they will help to improve the fire service, the fire chief noted the plan for overall improvement will have to be enforced. The Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben told the senior officers that the government will be lending more support to the fire service.
While there will be placement of some of these assets on the coast, they will also be in the interior, where there continues to be a deficit in terms of our responses to the issues of fire, sometimes arson related. So this is a significant boost, a significant milestone in the history of the Guyana Fire Service. We will continue to build in this area.
The Senior Fire Officers Conference will conclude on Friday. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, has issued a stern warning to businesses that are charging value-added tax on items which no longer attract the tax. He said should they continue to flout the laws and unscrupulously attach a 14% value-added tax to items on which the VAT has been removed or has been reduced, they will face the full force of the law, as this is illegal and is a practice of denying customers the right to ultimately enjoy reduced prices on various commodities, including construction materials. Dr. Singh said when the budget was passed a few weeks ago, it outlined several areas, including the VAT zero rating or reduction of VAT or duty previously charged on a number of commodities. He said since then, Order Number 6 of 2021 of the Value Added Tax Act of the Laws of Guyana came into effect immediately for a VAT zero rating of certain construction materials, namely stone imported for construction and housing from CARICOM countries, locally produced pre-stressed concrete piles, and locally fabricated mild steel beams for building construction, and locally manufactured roofing and PVC products for building construction. Import duty on industrial-grade cement was also reduced from 15% to 5%. The government has received complaints that despite those reductions and removal of VAT in some instances, the prices for those products have gone up in the marketplaces and at construction stores. The finance minister said the measures were intended to benefit consumers and ease the expense aligned to the previous tax measures, and with their removal or reduction, the expectancy was that it would have ultimately allowed for the reduction in the cost of living of Guyanese generally. The minister said he has received reports that a number of hardware stores have refused to comply and are still charging VAT on several items. He said he is therefore warning such establishments that illegality will not be tolerated. Dr. Singh pointed out that he has already instructed the relevant agencies like the Guyana Revenue Authority to ensure that countrywide checks are made to enforce compliance with the law.
More employers are using social media to monitor employees. Here are some ways to maintain professionalism online. Never share confidential information about anyone, whether colleagues or clients. Do not share inappropriate posts from work gatherings. Keep company social media posts neutral. Never argue or make offensive comments. Never complain about your job to clients. Remember, what goes online stays online. Stop oversharing and get safe online.
Lymphatic filariasis. My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95 to the. Fuel it up and drive, super 95 to the. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
For the past 2 decades, the global community prioritized eliminating lymphatic filariasis, commonly known as filaria, as a public health problem. Many countries in the Americas have achieved this goal.
We're looking to have 100% eradication of this disease in Guyana. So we look forward to all of our citizens working with our teams, but in the Ministry of Health, as they go around in our communities, meeting with you to administer this pills.
And I will encourage you all to take your pills so that we can once and for all rid Guyana of filariasis.
We have to get rid of the negatives in relation to filaria. So please let the science be your guide and take the tablets.
My family would be taking their pills. I do hope that you would also be taking your pills so that we can together work on eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Filaria gonna get knocked out, TKO.
A message from the Ministry of Health in collaboration with PAHO.
Across the region tonight, nurses in Trinidad and Tobago are opting to take up the fight against COVID-19 outside of the country's borders. The revelation was made by President of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association, Edie Stewart, during an interview on CNC3's The Morning Brew on Wednesday. Stewart said frontline workers continue to grapple with challenging working conditions in Trinidad and were now being lured by the promise of betterment abroad. He said there are a number of issues and it has actually led to an increase in nursing personnel leaving Trinidad and Tobago, adding that the departure of nurses, some of whom were ranked as seniors, has created a worrying gap that was now being filled by junior staff. The officials said the government's failure to take the necessary actions to preserve the pool of critical health workers in Trinidad has been disappointing. In Bermuda, 10 new cases of coronavirus have pushed Bermuda's COVID-19 total to 113, with school children making up a third of active cases, health officials have announced. Several government schools will therefore move to remote learning, while others will start the Easter holidays early. The latest figures and developments came as the Premier predicted that the island could reach herd immunity by the 1st of June. The 10 new cases came from the latest batch of 866 test results. 2 senior schools transitioned to remote learning on Wednesday, while students and staff at another school are required to quarantine until the 2nd of April. And at another institution, quarantine will continue until the 30th of March. The education minister in Bermuda said the last day of school before the Easter break will be this Friday, with students returning to classes as normal on the 12th of April. The holiday had initially been scheduled to begin on the 1st of April. And finally tonight, international news. European countries must not turn on each other amid growing tensions over COVID vaccine supplies, the president of the EU Parliament has said. The call for unity comes as EU leaders hold virtual talks to discuss supplies and improving distribution across the bloc's 27 member states. Some countries have complained that doses have not been distributed fairly. Vaccine rollouts in EU states have started sluggishly, and the bloc has blamed pharmaceutical companies, primarily AstraZeneca, for not delivering its promised doses. The company denies that it is failing to honor its contract. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting. Stay safe.